But what if Israel had a cost-effective way to stop the rockets? A way to hit one rocket after another endlessly without having to worry about its expensive interceptors running out.
Israel's secret laser technology is so advanced that it's making the rest of the world terrified, and even the other world powers restless. Sure, Israel's weaponry has long been held in high regard, but this secret weapon is nothing short of scary. With this weapon, they can disarm missiles, and they would almost be invincible. That's how extreme it is. It raises questions. Have they used it? What's it even called? Well, join us as we explore this secret Israeli laser system that shocked Hamas, Iran, Russia, and China. A secret weapon, the Iron Beam. Israel has long been seen as a world power that prioritizes their security above all else. But with this secret weapon, they might as well just cover themselves in vibranium force fields. Because this weapon is so futuristic, it feels ahead of its time. And you would never guess what its name is. It's got a name that's just as terrifying as what it can do. It's called the Iron Beam. The Iron Beam is a fascinating invention in the world of defense technology, and this is causing a lot of emotions amongst several countries and groups. Hamas and Iran are clearly not fans of such a powerful weapon guarding their enemy. In fact, countries like China and Russia are surely very jealous. The idea behind it is simple yet powerful. What if you could defend your skies with lasers? The reality of this is more complex, but the Iron Beam, which was developed by Israel, is the country's answer to ever-evolving threats from rockets, mortars, drones, and other aerial attacks. It wasn't born overnight, though, although it may seem like it because it has been kept in the dark for so long, kept a secret. Yet, it has been a long journey, with the first sparks of its conception starting several years ago, driven by the need to find a faster, cheaper, more precise way of intercepting dangerous projectiles. Scary, right? Well, Israel is a scary place because it has a lot of enemies. And unlike some countries whose enemies are seas and oceans away, theirs are close, and they are completely surrounded by them. Israel has faced many challenges over the years, particularly from rocket fire. Groups like Hamas and Hezbollah have often targeted civilian areas, launching missiles and rockets from nearby regions. While Israel has a very effective missile defense system called the Iron Dome, something we'll dive into a lot more later. The Iron Dome has saved countless lives by intercepting rockets mid-air, but there has always been the pressing need to find even quicker and cheaper methods to shoot down these incoming threats. Rockets can be fired quickly and in large numbers, so the Iron Beam was envisioned as an advanced solution to complement existing systems. Where the Iron Dome fires physical missiles to destroy incoming threats, the Iron Beam aims to use lasers to do the same, but in a more futuristic and efficient manner. But what makes the Iron Beam so different or special, since the concept of using lasers isn't new? Well, keep watching to find out. Here's the thing. Integrating it into a defense system was no small feat. The creators of the Iron Beam, Rafael Advanced Defense Systems, had to ensure the technology could work in real combat situations where speed is essential. You've seen movies, and while they are not the real thing, movies have done a good job at giving us a very good image of what missile launches and guns firing look and even feel like. So, right now, imagine a rocket being fired, and in just a few moments, a laser shoots it down, completely vaporizing or disabling it. The key advantage here is that using lasers as opposed to actual missiles is much more cost-effective. When you're firing a missile to take down another missile, it's a costly and dangerous process. Lasers, on the other hand, don't run out in the same way. You're essentially firing energy, invincible to naked eye energy, which makes it a cheaper long-term solution. Plus, the speed of light is unmatched, meaning the time between targeting a threat and neutralizing it is incredibly short. The thing now is, it sounds like a miracle, a true genius of engineering. But have they put it to work? Have they started using it on the field? Before it could be put into real use, the Iron Beam had to go through extensive testing and prototyping. This stage is critical for any military technology because in the heat of battle, there's no room for mistakes. Engineers and scientists worked on various prototypes to ensure that the laser system could accurately detect, track, and destroy incoming threats. The testing involved firing lasers at mock targets to see how well it could perform under different conditions. Lasers, by nature, can be affected by weather conditions like clouds, rain, or dust, so the creators had to work through these potential limitations. However, the results were promising. Through trial and error, they refined the system, and it successfully passed multiple tests, demonstrating that it could effectively shoot down rockets, mortar shells, and even small drones. Which makes you wonder, what's the plan? You won't believe it. The plan for the Iron Beam isn't just about replacing existing systems like the Iron Dome, but enhancing them. Think of it like adding another layer of protection. The Iron Dome can still handle larger missile threats, but when it comes to smaller, fast-moving targets or large barrages of rockets, the Iron Beam can step in and take over. It provides a complementary system that's faster, cheaper, and more versatile. Moreover, there are also considerations of using it in other areas beyond Israel's borders. The defense industry worldwide is always looking for the next big advancement, and laser technology has long been a dream. Countries around the world are keeping a close eye on Israel's progress with the Iron Beam, as it could potentially revolutionize air defense systems globally. And while they're on the lookout, they are also keeping busy. Several countries are developing similar laser-based defense systems, though Israel's Iron Beam is one of the most advanced to reach public attention. The United States has been working on directed energy weapons, including laser systems for missile and drone defense, with projects like the U.S. Navy's Laser Weapon System, LAWS, and the U.S. Army's Indirect Fire Protection Capability, High Energy Laser, IFPC-HEL. These systems aim to use lasers to neutralize incoming threats, much like the Iron Beam, but they are still in development or limited deployment phases. But it's not just the US, Russia, and China have also invested in laser technology for defense, focusing on systems that can intercept drones, missiles, and even aircraft. However, Israel's Iron Beam stands out for its specific focus on countering small rockets and mortars, making it uniquely suited for the type of threats the country faces. While other nations are progressing in this field, Israel's Iron Beam is notable for being closer to widespread operational use, setting it apart as one of the most ready-for-combat laser defense systems in the world. For Israel, the Iron Beam represents not just technological progress, but a strategic advantage in a region where security threats are a constant concern. With this new laser defense system, there's hope that it can offer even better protection for the country's civilians, reducing the risk of rockets or drones slipping through their defenses. The Iron Dome versus the Iron Beam. Speaking of defenses, based on everything we've said so far, you must be curious about the Iron Dome and what exactly it is in comparison to the Iron Beam. Well, don't go anywhere. We'll get into that right now. When you think about missiles or rockets being fired at a country, the usual response involves launching missiles back at them to intercept and destroy these threats in mid-air. This is where systems like the Iron Dome have excelled. The Iron Dome is fantastic at what it does, intercepting rockets and missiles with remarkable accuracy. and has saved countless lives and infrastructure by doing so. However, each interception requires a missile of its own, which can be incredibly expensive over time. Every time the system fires a missile, that's a significant cost being added to the operation. Now here's where the Iron Beam really shines. Instead of relying on costly interceptor missiles, it uses a directed energy laser to shoot down threats. Lasers, unlike physical missiles, don't need to be constantly restocked. The fuel for a laser is essentially electricity, so once the system is set up, its ammo is nearly unlimited. This makes it far cheaper to operate because you're not physically launching anything. It's like comparing having to buy a new set of arrows every time you shoot at a target versus using a light beam that doesn't need to be replaced. To put that into perspective, firing an interceptor missile, such as those used in Israel's Iron Dome, can cost around $20,000 to $100,000 per missile. In contrast, each laser shot from the Iron Beam costs only a few dollars in electricity, making it dramatically cheaper to operate. But it's not just the financial savings, though. The speed at which a laser can travel is the real game changer. Lasers move at the speed of light, which means that the time between detecting an incoming threat and neutralizing it is almost instantaneous. This allows the Iron Beam to react to smaller, faster-moving threats that might be difficult for other systems to handle. But we've talked about that, so let's not bore you with too much detail. You won't guess what we have next. The Iron Dome is said to have a 90% success rate. But while it is extremely effective, it does have its limitations. It is designed to intercept larger projectiles, like rockets or missiles, and works incredibly well in that space. But it can struggle with smaller or more numerous threats, like mortar shells or swarms of drones. This is because the system has to lock on to each threat individually and launch a missile, which takes time and resources. The Iron Beam, by contrast, can handle many small threats quickly and more efficiently. It doesn't need to fire an entire missile to take out a target, it just needs a focused burst of laser energy. Do you think Israel's defense duality is the best defense system there is? And what's your take on the Iron Beam? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.